The State Inspection Authority, or SIA, is expected to assume a more independent role in carrying out investigations into state bodies and will now be supervised by the state president. Citing in Vientiane Times, the national English newspaper published on Friday, March 26, Vice President of the National Assembly, or NA, Professor Dr. Chaleun Yiapaoher, said, placing the SIA under the supervision of the President upgrades its status and role. It should be able to perform more independently. The Politburo recently adopted a resolution to split the organization from the government's oversight. This means the State Inspection Authority is now an independent body under the supervision of the Lao President. The change should allow the State Inspection Authority to perform more effectively and independently, especially in carrying out investigations into the government's performance. The SIA was previously called the Government Inspection Authority, or GIA, and was overseen by the government. The fact that the government is the target of inspection was another reason to justify removing the SIA from the government's oversight, according to Dr. Chaleun, who is also president of the National Assembly Law Committee. The State Audit Organization, or SAO, previously supervised by the National Assembly, will now also come under the supervision of the President. The inaugural session of the National Assembly 9th Legislature, which ends on Friday, March 26, elected former Prime Minister Thongloun Sisulit as the new state president, who will have authority over the two above-mentioned bodies. The session also elected former head of the party Central Committee's Propaganda and Training Board, Kampan Pomatat, as president of the State Inspection Authority. Mr. Malaitong Komasit was elected president of the State Audit Organization. The session approved the government's organizational structure, which consists of 17 ministries and 2 ministry equivalent organizations, the Prime Minister's Office and the Bank of the Lao PDR. This structure has been downsized from the previous 18 ministries and 3 ministry equivalent organizations after the Ministry of Science and Technology was dissolved and the Presidential Palace was split from the government's organizational structure. The session also approved members of the government cabinet, and some new ministers have officially taken up their posts. Mr. Kampang on Thursday officially assumed the post of Minister of Industry and Commerce, replacing Mrs. Kemani Ponsena. Mrs. Baikam Katinya now replaces Mr. Kampang as Minister of Labor and Social Welfare. The following are the 17 new ministers. Minister of National Defense, General Jansamon Chanyalat. Minister of Planning and Investment, Dr. Sonsai Sipandon. Minister of Public Security, Lieutenant General Vilaila Kamfong. Minister of Foreign Affairs, Salam Sai Komasit. Minister of Industry and Commerce, Kampang Sai Sompang. Minister of Technology and Communications, Professor Dr. Bovin Kamvong Dala. Minister of Agriculture and Forestry, Phet Pompipak. Minister of Natural Resources and Environment, Ms. Bunkam Vorachit. Minister of Labor and Social Welfare, Ms. Baikam Katinya. Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism, Ms. Sun Sawan Vinyaket. Minister of Finance, Mr. Bunjom Ubun Pasert. Minister of Public Works and Transport, Mr. Vieng Savat Sipandon. Minister of Education and Sports, Mr. Put Simalawong. Minister of Health, Dr. Bunfeng Pomalaisit. Minister of Justice, Paivi Sibualipa. Minister of Home Affairs, Tongchan Manisai. Minister of Energy and Mines, Dr. Dao Vong Pongkeo. The 2 equivalent organizations are Minister to the Prime Minister's Office, Mr. Kamjin Wongpo-si. Governor of the Bank of the Lao PDR, Mr. Sonsai Sitpasai. The 5-day session debated and approved a number of documents, including the 5-year socio-economic development and state budget plans for 2021 to 25. The session also heard a report on the implementation of the 8th 5-year socio-economic development and budget plans for 2016-2020. 2 reports presented by the Supreme Prosecutor and the People's Supreme Court, the State Audit Organization, and the State Inspection Authority also delivered reports before the National Assembly presented its report on plans to enact and amend laws over the next 5 years. The National Assembly 9th Legislature comprises 164 members who will meet twice a year and to debate and approve laws as well as make decisions on other issues of national importance. Supakson Silapit and the news team reports from the new National Assembly building on the Tat Long Esplanade.